please support us to check out pentheblogofficial. Like, share, follow and subscribe. I'm sure all of you have heard the phrase, "the early bird gets the worm." However, I bet many of you do know the story behind it and what it really means to be an early riser. Hi guys, today we will meet an albatross that flew across the oceans and achieved its goal. But before we begin our story, make sure to subscribe so you won't miss any new videos. Also, give this video a like if you think the early bird gets the worm. And with that being said, let's get started. Our protagonist is a wandering albatross. Wandering albatrosses are large seabirds with a wingspan that can reach almost 12 feet. These birds live on islands in the Indian Ocean and mainly feed on fish and squid. They spend most of their time soaring effortlessly above the ocean, riding air currents and traveling huge distances. In fact, the wandering albatross holds the title for the longest flight of any bird species. An individual was once spotted flying non-stop for 439 days. This flight covered a distance of more than 68,000 kilometers. So you can imagine how enormous these birds' wings are. Like other seabirds, wandering albatrosses usually start their day at dawn. As soon as the sun rises, they leave their roosting sites and head out to sea to search for food. This is when the adults catch fish and squid for themselves and bring back some food for their chicks. You see, wandering albatrosses breed on land in large colonies. The females lay one egg per nesting season, and then both. Parents take turns incubating the egg and caring for their chick. Since finding food is not easy, many chicks die of starvation. Therefore, when the adults return to the nest with food, they are met with hungry chirps and excited dancing by their chicks. If the parents don't bring food often enough, the chicks will eventually die. And that's why the adults try to bring back food as often as possible. But sometimes the weather conditions are so bad that they cannot fly. For example, strong winds can easily knock them off course or even injure them. Therefore, if the adults can't fly, they spend the entire day looking for food near the coast. Sometimes they manage to find something, but more often than not, they come back to the nest empty-beaked. This is exactly what happened to one of the albatrosses. It tried to get food for its chick, but the weather was so bad that it couldn't fly over the ocean. It spent the whole day looking for food near the shore and eventually returned home empty-beaked. The hungry chick started chirping loudly and anxiously dancing at the entrance to the nest. The poor parent was very upset about this, but there was nothing it could do. It just had to wait until the weather got better. The next morning, the albatross woke up earlier than usual. It wanted to get to the chick as quickly as possible and bring it food. When the sky cleared up, the bird took off and headed out to sea. It soared above the waves, riding the wind and searching for fish and squid. After a while, it found a school of fish and dove after it. It caught a few fish and then headed back to the chick. When the albatross arrived at the nest, the chick had calmed down and stopped crying. However, the moment it saw the parent with food in its beak, it started dancing again. The bird gave the fish to its chick and then took off again. It wasn't sure if it would be able to catch fish again, so it decided to look for more food. And that's when the wandering albatross became the first bird in history to fly across the Indian Ocean. The bird flew 11,000 kilometers in 57 days and caught fish along the way, which it brought back to its chick. Every time the albatross approached its colony, it would spot a flock of other birds and change course. At first, the birds thought the albatross was lost and was looking for its colony. However, the bird kept flying round the island and never left it. After 57 days, the chick finally grew up and flew away, and the wandering albatross finally got some rest. The bird had achieved its goal and successfully raised its chick. Well, that's all for today. We hope you enjoyed this story and learned something new. Remember, the early bird gets the worm. Being an early riser allows you to plan your day and achieve your goals faster. So wake up early, make a plan and stick to it. We believe in you. Now, write in the comments, what kind of goals do you want to achieve? Also, give this video a like if you liked it and subscribe if you haven't already. See you soon. Bye.